have a line coming out of my head.
Hello, everybody. I am SunPsychic Jean, and look who I have with me here today is Daphne from Relax with Daphne. And man, oh man, do we have a show here for you today. I am looking forward to this, and I know you guys are all going to really enjoy the information that Daphne is going to be bringing us. And first of all, welcome, Daphne. How are you? You look lovely.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm having a wonderful spring. I know it hasn't officially started yet, but the flowers are out. The breeze is cool and beautiful. And oh my gosh, this is such a great time of year, especially if you're looking to change things up, to move forward in your energetic state, to heal some things, to let go of some stuff, and to just get ready for the year. So for me, the year begins in spring when new growth is happening. So
Absolutely. And it is, I know that I'm the sun psychic and that the summer solstice is one of my favorite times of the year. However, the spring is what I love the most. That new growth, that new life is just so irresistible. And it offers such a new start, an opportunity to begin again. Not, as does the every day the sun rises, it offers a new opportunity. So does the spring. And a lot of traditions or a lot of communities do recognize the spring as the beginning of the year as well.
well, I think just from an aesthetic standpoint, I mean, the springtime and Easter time, what beautiful imagery we're treated to. The colors are soft and innocent and encouraging. I mean, what a great time for optimism.
It's right up my alley. So I'd like to say hello to Shining Love, Light Truth. So nice to see you. Thank you for
Oh,
being here. And Wisdom Light Keeper is here. Nice to see you. SR Kish is here. Nice to see you. And Gary is here. So nice to see everybody. Thank you all for joining us. And I'm sure that many will be joining in as soon as the notifications go out. So Daphne has a beautiful presentation. She's going to be going over some information with us, and we'll be opening up for questions later on in the presentation. Hello, Kelly, Mystic Next Door. Nice to see you.
so good to
And
see you, Kelly.
and Sherry M is here. Nice to see you. Aw,
Oh,
yeah.
wonderful. And I love being with your audience, Jean. You have so many wonderful people who come by. And this is the first time I'm also sending this to Facebook. So I'd like to say a special welcome to anybody who's watching me on Facebook right now. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and me as well. And I know that a lot of people on Facebook watch a little bit later. There's not as many live, but if you're here live, please do say hello and drop in a little emoji so that we know you're here. Yeah.
I'd love that. Yeah. Well, this time of year is, I mean, considering all that's going on in the world, I thought that people might like to hear about some ways to support themselves energetically. Like, I'm into the biofield therapies with sound healing and Reiki. Flower essences are an extension of those vibrational therapeutics that I use. And they work on so many different levels, and they're really easy to share over time and space, just like Reiki and sound healing. And so I thought, because of spring and because people need a way to cope with the chaos, the change, the acceleration that's happening in every direction. Everywhere you look, things are changing, or there's a lot of shock and awe, right, to our personal sensibilities. And so I have brought some flower essences with me today to share, to help people relax and to nourish them and support them as they go through these next few weeks and months. Yes, flower essence for spring allergies. What a beautiful thought. Yes, thank you. Yeah, these can help you in so many ways. And why don't we start? Can I just pop up this? Let's just do the first slide, Jean. What are flower essences? Let's start with this because Kelly asked a great question, and I want to make sure you all know what's going on behind the scenes with flower essences. Flower essence brings in three different things: pure spring water that are structured by sunlight with the energetic imprint of specific flowers. Okay. So it is a very high vibrational method of supporting and interacting with the plant kingdom. And it's unlike things like herbs, teas, essential oils. This does not have a lot of physical or chemical components in it. So the wonderful thing about that is that you can use it with any of your other medications or therapies that you're doing. Obviously, you want to check with your doctor, with your essence practitioner, or your your essential oil practitioner, Ayurveda, your acupuncturist, anyone you're using to support your health. You should talk to them about using flower essences. Most of them don't know that it will not interfere with anything else you're doing. You can always take these in a number of different ways to support your well-being. And let's go to slide number 2, why use flower essences. To support everything about us, right? Your emotional, mental, and physical well-being. It supports healing. It helps you get through nerve-wracking situations. A lot of you may have seen and used that yellow bottle of Rescue Remedy that is in every health food store. That is a blend of 5 flowers, and all of them contribute some energy to helping you deal with loss, with grief, with anxiety, with pain, with difficult situations like you're heading into your performance evaluation at work, right? Or you have to go to the doctor to hear a distressing diagnosis, or you're going through a difficult time in a relationship. That little formula you can find at every well-stocked grocery store is going to help you through that. My favorite way to use flower essences is for spiritual experiences.
Wow.
Right? Like I know people who fly halfway across the world to take ayahuasca with a shaman. Awesome. And I can do the same thing at home with a flower essence. I can have the incredible, transformative, transcendent experience with the flowers without any of that stress or without any of the physical consequences. You know, ayahuasca, peyote, psilocybin, they all have physical consequences and they need to be taken with a lot of care. And generally, you need somebody to guide you through those experiences. You don't need to do that with flower essences because they're so gentle and so loving, and they're still wildly effective. So when Kelly was asking about whether these can be used for allergies, I have used them for allergies, so I will say yes. I will absolutely say yes. So let's move on.
Can I back up just once and go back up to this other one? Because I missed, I'm hearing, what are the flower essences? And you were telling us physically and energetically, but, and then when you were saying about spiritually, it all clicked together for me. So the specific flowers have an energetic frequency and vibration and essence. And what I'm equating this to is it's a nature's creation, and the energetic or the physical format of that energy is then. Do you hear that noise, or is that you? Okay,
that might be me. Sorry, I couldn't reach my phone.
But it's also, what they told me is it's very similar to crystals. The way that crystals are from nature. They're nature's creation. They have a frequency and a vibration that when we're just next to them, gently, their essence and their the vibration and the I can't say anything other than the frequency and the vibration that blends with our own frequency and vibration. It blends and it either balances, corrects, or enhances. And I know, I mean, and we all are becoming more and more sensitive to the what Gaia has for us. Now, this one is polished and it's manipulated. It's not a natural stone, but even natural stones, and it just flowers in general outside. That's why you feel so cheery. That's why we give them, to our sweethearts and things, because they have an energetic, loving quality. Earth and nature all
Yes.
together have this beautiful energetic quality that is transcends space and time and allows us to enhance our own energetic, our chakras and our auric field. We're all made of this energy, very subtle energy. And when we blend them with crystals or flower essences, it really does enhance many things. And when you said the over here, when you said the spirit, I'm like, oh, of course. It all went together for me. Emotional,
Yeah.
mental, physical, healing, support, well-being, and spiritual experiences. This is the essence of the nature's creation of the flower essence. That's why they're called flower essences. It all makes sense. I mean, I knew this, but it all is coming together for me, Daphne.
Oh,
So,
Jean, you've said that so beautifully. Yes, absolutely. And part of the reason why I fell in love with flower essences is because it modifies mood, they modify behavior, they modify our response to the world. And when I was studying at the School of Flower Essences, I was tasked with taking St. John's wort for a month, right? That was part of my study. And I'm like, I don't need that. I feel great. I'm very optimistic. And then as I proceeded through the month of taking that flower essence day after day, things shifted in dramatic fashion for me. And by the end of the month, I had made 3 new friends. I had fixed an old problematic relationship. I had clarity about the behavior of somebody on the edge of my circle who needed to be removed from my circle. And I felt great about all of it. And I was like, okay, well, right. I wasn't like classically depressed, but look how much good this flower essence created in my life. And that's why I just have become an incredible fan of flower essences. They're so gentle. Anyone can take them. You can choose flower essences for yourself. You can make them yourself. And there are incredible people out there who are blending new flower essences. So it is a world that you can spend the rest of your life studying. And I would say that it is the highest vibrational therapy that I use for my clients.
wow.
Yeah. So I can't say enough good stuff about it. So, I have put together a community blend for everybody who's here today, whether you're watching
Ooh.
this live or whether you watch this at some later date. I'm going to share a community essence with all of you. And I really want to, hear from you what your experience of it was. And just as you were saying, the flower essences address imbalances. They also heighten strengths. They also give us new ways of perceiving things and new ways of approaching problems in our life. And I just will say, if you're not familiar with the story of flower essences, they've been around at least in this iteration, for over 100 years. Dr. Bach, who was an English microbiologist and MD, he developed these because he had no way to help people who were coming back from the trenches of World War I in absolutely devastated shape. Right? He's like, okay, there has to be some way to help these. So he turned to nature and he ended up developing 38 original flower essences to help people. And since then, this vibrational therapy has been studied with millions of people, and millions of people around the world take them and rely on them for a subtle form of help that you can do yourself in relationship with nature. So,
So
like I
let's
said,
see how to use them.
yes, very, very easy. And there's a lot of ways to do this. The classic formula, the 38 original essences developed by Dr. Bach are still produced today. You can get them very, very easily. So that's what we're going to concentrate on today. They're a blend of spring water and they are preserved with organic French brandy. And the classic prescription is 4 drops in water 4 times a day. Or you can also, like with people use them for their pets, they put them behind their ear, they put it behind their dog's ears. I use it externally as a spray because I like the mist in my energy sphere, right? So that's what I work with for myself and with my clients as a spray, an environmental spray. And I have found that as you take an essence, you naturally turn to it less and less. You start out with the prescription 4 times a day, and eventually you might forget to take it, and you just are feeling too good, so you forget to take it, and that allows a natural tapering off. So it's not something you have to do every day for the rest of your life. When I care for someone as a flower essence practitioner, I develop a custom blend for them. We use them for at least 3 weeks and check in and see what's happened, what has shifted, how have things changed. And we could go for as long as 12 weeks if the person is still getting benefit from it. And some formulations can be very, very complex. I did a 15 blend essence for a dog.
Oh.
Right? Most of us need like 2 to 6 essences for a few weeks. But this particular dog was doing energetic and spiritual work for an entire family.
Wow.
And it was very complicated, but everybody in the family, even though they themselves weren't taking the flower essences, just healing the dog's energy, working with that dog's energy and change for that dog healed, it just ripples out and helps everyone around them. So when I work with a client, it's always a custom progression based on what they want and what they need. So you can do this for yourself. If you don't have the time or the inclination to work with someone else, you can very much self-direct your care under flower essences.
Beautiful.
So let me show you the list of 38 original remedies, since that's what we're talking about today. Do you see that slide, Jean?
Yeah, I just popped it up.
Okay, there we go. So these were the original 38 remedies that Dr. Bach did. And it looks like Bach, but he was Welsh and it's pronounced Bach. Had he lived longer, I'm sure he would have gone farther. But each of these has a specific application. And I'll tell you a story about one in the third column called rock water. This is spring water that emerges from the ground and is captured right then in the sunlight, has no flowers in it, and yet it has an essential property to it. And the first time I took it, I very much resisted it because a group of my friends wanted to take it together. And I said, I don't need that. I don't want to take that. I want to choose something else. But as it turns out, that rock water is about rigidity and self-repression, right?
Oh my gosh.
So sometimes you think you're going to resist things, right? You'll be like, I don't need that. Like I didn't need the St. John's wort, But these are working on multiple levels, and when you put multiple flower essences into a blend, they complement each other and they create something entirely new. Right? So that's why you can take them one at a time and experience the changes, or you can make a blend and experience something completely different. And each of these has multiple layers of meaning, multiple layers of help that they can provide us. And there are people who only give one essence. They give it to everybody, and it's like a placebo. I don't happen to do that with flower essences, but I do that with a plant called mugwort, Artemisia. That plant is the mother plant. That's what mugwort stands for. So you can take mugwort in an essence, you can drink it in a tea, you can just spend time with the plant, and it will address a lot of things, whatever you need. So let's say you have a bottle of that rescue remedy, but you want to work on being more flexible. Don't hesitate to take it. Just ask the flowers to help you work with that particular goal. Okay, so I chose to work today with these 38 remedies because you can easily find them. You can easily get them. There are a handful of official, authentic producers of it. You can go to your Whole Foods or Sprouts or whatever grocery store that you have that carries flower essences and ask them for particular blends if they don't have them. So that's why I wanted to talk about these today. But before we do that, can we just pop up that modern flower essence slide? Okay, so these are producers of flower essences that go beyond the 38 original remedies. And I am bringing these to you because I've worked with every single one of these producers with their essences. And the Alaskan essences, Jean, you might be especially interested in because they do gemstone elixirs along with plant essences, and they are incredible. They're so good. So good. Desert Alchemy is produced in Tucson, Arizona, and the woman who makes those flower essences is a very creative, very original thinker. She has very highly spiritual blends that she's created. Like, she has a Mr. Nice Guy formula, right? If you're the type of person who smiles and goes along with things, but you're miserable inside, you might need that essence.
Does it work? Does it work on husbands?
You bring up a good point. Okay, so first of all, free will, right? And we don't treat people without their consent. But if you are having a challenge in a relationship, you can always take the essence and see what changes, right? Yeah. So we respect people's free will, their privacy, their sovereignty, and we can change ourselves in the situation. FES, Flower Essence Services, they are widely considered to be the most comprehensive flower essence provider. They do a certification program. They do excellent plant studies. They have an incredible selection. They are one of the few people who are authorized to make the Bach formulas here in the U.S. So I get a lot of my essences from them. I have their full provider kit. Green Hope Farms, if you are alcohol free, they make theirs with a vinegar instead of an alcohol preservative. They work with the angels on their farm, and they have an incredible animal wellness kit that I just absolutely love. Their essences are really soft and loving and gentle. A lot of really good ones for women, for mothers, for the whole from fertility efforts to conception through pregnancy, new motherhood. They do a wonderful job with that stuff. Pohala Essences is very interesting. This is an indigenous brand that's created in Hawaii from Hawaiian plants. So if you're called to work with that energy, I can't recommend their essences enough. They do a fern essence that is like still one of the most mind-bending experiences I've ever had using the flower essences. Same with Zalish medicines. This is produced by a First Nations woman who lives on Vancouver Island in British Columbia, and she does a lot with ocean plants like kelp and other seaweeds. And those medicines are they just have an incredible energy unto themselves. So I wanted to share that with you because I want you to know that after Dr. Bach created his first 38 original, there has been an absolute flourishing of creativity and exploration among the flowers and the plants in the world. And this is just the beginning. There are a lot of producers out there. I recommend these because I personally experienced their essences, and I know that they're doing a wonderful job in their production process of flower essences.
So, Daphne, I have a question. So the FES, you said, is authorized to produce the original 38. Do all of these others also offer the original 38 in addition to their other blends?
To my knowledge, they do not. They may offer a blend with a particular, like we talked about, St. John's wort. That's not one of the 38 original, but it complements a lot of them. They might take the same flowers, like you'll see in the community blend water violet is in that, and I'm using the Bach version. But that is made with a specific type of the flower and using it under specific circumstances, right? So on this list, the only people who are making the original 38 essences is FES, Flower Essence Services.
Okay.
But the FES is not making any gemstone elixirs. They're not using seaweed. They're not using Hawaiian plants, right? So, and there are essences that are produced all over the world. So, if you're interested in Ireland and you're planning a trip to go there, you can look at the essences that are being produced in Ireland, right? There's just no end to the creativity that's going on out there.
Okay, can I go back one? I don't mean
yeah. So yeah, of course.
So these are found in the U.S. or these are found around the world. These plants, these flowers.
I mean, if you think about it, willow trees are everywhere, right? Oak trees
are that. I don't know that they're in every continent. If they're willow trees in Hawaii, I don't know. That's why I was.
Yeah. Right. Not necessarily. I mean, he worked with what he had. He was working outside of London. His patients were in that area. So this is what he had to hand. So this is what he worked with. For instance, the oak essence that's created under the Bach method is very different from an oak that might be developed by Desert Alchemy because they're using an Arizona oak tree. Right. So there are slight differences. There's some crossover, but there are slight differences. And there's a lot to be said for using an essence of a plant that is native to your area. Right.
Yeah. Especially when it comes to allergies. Yeah.
Yes.
That's when that comes in.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to make you back up. If you want to move forward, I'm ready.
Oh, no, I think this is great. Absolutely great. Okay. So shall we have a little experience? Shall we go look at the community blend that I created and I could share it with you? Okay. So I never know what spirit is going to put in a blend. So when I downloaded in meditation this blend for everybody who's here today, I was quite surprised because let me tell you a little bit about these essences and see if any of this resonates with you. So crabapple, the cleansing remedy, also for not liking something about ourselves.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Pine, guilt. Star of Bethlehem. Ooh, that just gave me chills. Star of Bethlehem. This is for shock. Water violet is quiet self-reliance, but it leads to isolation. And then white chestnut, unwanted thoughts and mental arguments.
Mm-hmm.
And when these things are all combined together, I mean, to me, it is really resonating for me on the level of international community.
Mm-hmm.
I feel isolated from the world right now. I feel guilty that my tax dollars are being used to do things I don't agree with.
Mm-hmm.
I am in shock at world events.
Mm-hmm.
I am keeping quiet with my fears and my concerns, and that's leading to isolation, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was the crabapple? You'd think a cleansing remedy, not liking something about ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And white chestnut, unwanted thoughts and mental arguments. Right?
Mm-hmm. And taking on the atrocities of others. We, as empaths, will feel guilty for somebody else's, transgressions because they don't feel guilty. So we do feel guilty for them. We often do that. Yeah. And we often, it's and that goes right down the line with all of that. So even if you are not personally experiencing some of these, it's a lot of times that we carry the guilt for the nation or for the, the perpetrator, or the whatever it is. And it's often in families too, that if we have a family member that is accused of some wrongdoing, the family carries the shame that they didn't do anything, but
Right.
because they're associated, they carry it, and especially in an empathic and a narcissistic type of dilemma that often occurs. And we as empaths, I come across that a lot, that we carry other people's guilt for them.
We do. We do. And, this is the flip side of being proud of your country, right? Proud of your family, proud of your school, proud of your profession. And then you find out that somebody in your profession has been doing terrible things. And you have to experience the unwanted thoughts. Why should I be forced to think about these people's crimes? I didn't do anything wrong. And yet,
Mm-hmm.
like I loved going to college. I loved working at a university. And yet I'm just stunned and shocked by how many people in university life and researchers and spiritual leaders and writers have been revealed to be terrible people.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right. I'm going to move us back up into the original.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful presentation and offering there, Daphne. And I will, you guys are more than welcome to take screenshots when you go back and watch it.
Yeah.
So I know that we're going to go through a little bit of a ceremony with the community blend right here, right now.
Yes.
And would it be appropriate to go through some of the comments and questions now or at the end?
Yeah. Yes. Let's hear.
Okay. I just wanted to share. So Kelly was saying it sounds familiar to homeopathic. And she says, everyone has an energetic frequency, everything in everyone. Mm-hmm.
Yes. I think somebody who had studied homeopathy, and I'm certainly interested and use homeopathy, the principle is the same because it's very, very minimal amount of plant material, diluted tremendously. But homeopathic medicine uses a variety of materials, like they use sea salt, right, in homeopathic remedies. So it's a similar pathway to a vibrational therapy. But I don't think any homeopath would consider flower essence as a homeopathic medicine. Mm-hmm. But great question. Mm-hmm. There's so many things that can help us right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And not chemicals,
Right, right.
And Gary says Bach Rescue Remedy is a popular natural homeopathic medicine. So you say they do cross reference, right?
They have a similar effect, but considered a different class of vibrational therapy. Yeah, Bach Rescue Remedy has 5 flowers in it, including one that we're using today, the Star of Bethlehem, for shock. And it's available everywhere. It's wonderful for exams or for stressful meetings, or like you're taking your driver's test. You're a teenager and you're taking a big test. You're taking the SATs. Bach Rescue Remedy does not interfere with your cognition like some, anxiety medication might. And it also clears away fear, clears away any emotions that would get in the way of you being your absolute best in that moment. So yes, thank you, Gary, for bringing that forward. Yeah.
So, and I also wanted to clarify here that Bach Rescue Remedy is a flower essence. It's not a homeopathic. Right. And sometimes when we pick them up at the health food store, we are not always understanding the categories in which they're different.
Yeah. And to get the benefit from it, you don't need to know any of that, right? You just have to recognize that this is a vibrational therapy that has low impact on the planet, right? Use very little plant material, unlike like an essential oil, which needs pounds and pounds of plant material to produce a very little amount of oil. This is really gentle on the earth. In fact, you don't even need to pick the flowers. You just bend them over and lie them on top of the spring water and let the sunlight go through them. So it's a really, really high vibrational therapeutic.
Mm-hmm. And Tanya's Light says, hello. Thank you so much for this information. Very interesting. Nice to have you, Tanya. Thank you. And Shining Love Truth says, wow, double the vibrational assistance, crystals and flower herb essence. Woohoo. Yes. She says she took a screenshot of this. Good.
Wonderful.
Good. I recommend that. And she says, oh my gosh, I just had mugwort tea last night with chamomile tea. Warning, the taste isn't all that pleasant. And that's a little bit different, right?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, that you're actually physically taking in the chemicals and the of the plant material when you're doing that. With an essence, you're getting the vibrational essence of it. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, I love mugwort tea. And you're right, it is an acquired taste.
That's funny. So, and then Kelly also says, wow, this is working on the emotional level. Yeah.
Yes. When I chose that blend, I looked at it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need this. Jean might need this. And I hope that it helps support everybody who's watching this. Okay. So shall we experience the community blend?
Yes.
I'm ready if you are.
If you would describe what you have in front of you and how you're going to do this before we do it, that would be helpful. Oops. And yes. I can put you in the hot seat if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so what I've done is I pulled out the 5 essences. Here's crabapple. Here is, let's do these in alphabetical order, shall we? Here is pine. Here is Star of Bethlehem, one of my most beloved essences.
And they come in a dropper. They do. Okay.
Yeah, and I'll show you what it looks like. Water violet and white chestnut. And these happen to be for practitioners. So this is the full strength. So when I make a blend for someone, I will use a few drops of each of these in a bottle of spring water. So it's further diluted, very much like a homeopathic medicine. But it's holographic, which means that even a drop contains the full essence of the flower. Okay. All right. So if you would like to settle in for a moment, maybe get the wiggles out.
And then are you going to drop all of these drops in a bowl in front of you or in your hand?
I've actually put them in the palm of my hand.
Already.
And I'm going to use the etheric breath, like you use in Reiki, to transmit the flower essence to everybody who's watching, transcending time and space, right? It doesn't matter when you're watching this. It doesn't matter where you are. You will receive the full benefit of the transmission of these flower essences. So this is called the etheric transmission. Okay. All right. So just like anything we do as empaths, intuitives, mediums, Reiki practitioners, there's a little bit of willingness, right? You must consent to receive this. So now as you're sitting or lying, wherever you are right now, if you would just take a nice breath and release it. Take in one more breath and release it. And a third breath in and releasing it. And at this time, if you would please consent to receiving this etheric transmission of our community blend, including the essence of crabapple, pine, Star of Bethlehem, water violet, and white chestnut, And allow these flowers to bring you an emotional, spiritual, energetic, physical, mental experience. And allow the flowers to bring to you whatever it is you might need in this moment for your well-being, your happiness, your contentment, your healing, your happiness. I'm really big on happiness right now. That's how we bring light into the world. Now, this is a very fine vibration. So if you could just pay attention to yourself, to the energy that surrounds you as a human being, to your chakras, to your mood, however you are called to process the world. And please accept this gift of etheric transmission. Perhaps you can feel the energy settle over you, somewhat like a very light, very soft shawl or blanket. You might be able to feel the energy of individual flowers. You might feel the 5 of them working together to create change in this moment for you, to bring in some optimism, to bring in some comfort in recognizing that other people in this community also are sharing this energy. You might be seeing images or colors or having a memory that is important to you and that needs your attention. And you might also notice the corresponding strength and resilience you have to be able to address it. Above all, I hope that these flowers can bring to you a sense of being loved and belonging. All the plants on this planet have something to contribute to the well-being of humanity. And stepping into relationship with them is really easy when you use the flower essence to connect to nature without any trepidation or fear or concern. These plants are the most natural thing, and our relationship with them is millennia long. These plants are ancient, and they have ancient knowledge of humanity, and we can benefit from that today by just allowing them to help us and to support us in everything we're doing. And with that, I thank you for sharing this experience with me. And I thank you, Jean, for inviting me on your channel today to talk about this.
That was beautiful, Daphne. Thank you so very much. Now, if I can just say, I'm going to put myself in the hot seat so you guys can tell.
Yeah.
I felt a little warm, sort of, it came right in the front of my forehead and sort of came around this way. And I felt it maybe permeating through skin, bone, brain barrier. And just, it was almost like a very slight vibration it was almost like I felt a little bit of a heaviness. It's not a heaviness. I could just tell the difference in the frequency around my head. Like there was a presence. It felt like a presence. I mean, it was not physical. It was not heavy. It did not have a weight. It felt like a presence, like an energetic presence came right for me. This was the first spot right here on my forehead, came right here and started going around. And honestly, as you started talking, it stopped like right around my shoulders. And what I would like to say is this healing and this action or remedy will continue for as long that it's needed, and will eventually, because it was very, very slow for me, move through my entire body and my entire auric field and my energy centers as well. And it was so very gentle. Like I said, it wasn't heavy. I could just tell the difference in the just the atmosphere. I don't know how to explain it. Just a shift in the vibration, a shift in the energetic field is what I felt. But it was interesting that it came right here first and then felt like it was spreading around. So I don't know. And then I also wanted to go back to how to use it, because we did have a question about that. So is that typical, or is it just up to the individual? Like, is my ponytail too tight? Or
It is definitely individual, and it's just like Reiki. Reiki goes where you need it, and so do the flowers. They can look at you energetically and address you as an individual, and with just the right amount of energy in whatever way you need. So it's an astonishing vibrational therapy. It's one of those biofield therapies that will sneak up on you. If you are a person who's like, I didn't feel anything, just wait.
Okay. Okay, good. Well, there you go. You don't need to feel anything, even though I felt a little bit of a shift in a presence and an awareness. An awareness came. It didn't have any, there was no change in temperature. There was no change in heaviness or denseness. I didn't feel anything come close. I just noticed an awareness of a presence is what I was feeling.
Well, that makes sense for someone like you, right? You are constantly using your third eye and your crown chakra. So it's not at all a surprise that you were attuned to the vibration there. But I love the fact that you saw that this will continue to unfold. This will unfold throughout the day, throughout the weeks, whatever you need. Yeah, it's beautiful.
And it's not only physical in my physical body, but in my auric energy. You know, it's it's in here. Yeah, that's beautiful. So I also wanted to share what Lois said. I definitely felt a subtle shift that quelled an anxiety I normally experience.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
Interesting word.
Yes. Yes.
And Shining Love Light said, thank you. Saw a huge spring cherry tree in bloom with pink clouds in my head. That's so lovely that she saw, and the imagining of a flower essence, of an essence of a flower came to her, and it was so gentle, and or right around this time of year too, in my neck of the woods anyway. She said, with pink clouds in my head and arms and chest, then yawning, releasing, tells me releasing anything that, I don't know, okay, I guess that's it. Thank you for the beautiful spring equinox preview for me. That's really good.
So many nourishing flowers right now. Oh, yeah, body vibration, head, chest, arms, hands, amazing. Yes, very sensitive. And if you didn't have a energetic or physical sensation, maybe your mood shifted. Maybe you open to the idea that there are other things that can help you going forward. That even just putting up the slide with the names of the flowers of the community blend, that's where it starts, right? The vibration of those flowers is already being conveyed through the names. This is why our words and choosing our words is so important.
So Kelly had a question about, do you drink them? And I thought this is a good opportunity to go back to the second slide, because,
how to use. Where did that slide go?
I know.
Hey, what happened to it? There it is. How to use. Okay, yes. The classic dosage is to put 4 drops in 4 ounces of water and drink that 4 times a day. You can apply it externally, like you could dab it on your chakras, right? Crown, third eye, throat, heart. You can put it behind the ears of your pets. I like to use a spray because to me that is acknowledgement that it is energetic and I want it to work on my vibrational level for me. So I normally work with a spray. I send my clients a spray. And then you can just naturally taper off. I have done etheric transfer of flower essences by having people hold their own cup of water. And I've inserted the blend into the cup of water that they are holding at their house many thousands of miles away, right? So yes, you can take them with water. You don't need to. Some people find that like you might stick to it the first few days, first couple of weeks, but then it gets like tedious to remember to do it. So that's why I like the spray. You can just grab it and spray and go on with your day.
Yeah, yeah. And it's important to go back because it's one thing to be introduced what it is, how to use it, why to use it, what the origin, who provides it. And then you're like, well, wait a minute. She has these stroppers, like it's really important to get that whole concept and going back and forth. And I think it really does help to go back and rewatch it as well. And maybe take screenshots if you want, especially of this. Oh,
that's a good one. The 38 original remedies, the community blend. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of information on the internet. The Bach remedies themselves have an excellent website that give you sort of shortcuts to the specific vibrational uses of each of the 38 original essences. And I think that's a great place for people to start if you're new to flower essences, because it is so well researched and so many people around the world have experienced it. So.
Wow. So we have just about 10 minutes left. I don't know if anybody else has any questions or, would you describe the flower essence blend, the remedies for each of these that we just experienced one more time?
Yes. Yeah. And I think part of the brilliance of this formula for a community is that it is addressing not only individual needs, but also a higher overarching need for us. Crabapple is called the cleansing remedy. And it's also addresses when we don't like something about ourselves, right? So I can see some uses on a personal level, in my neighborhood, in my nation, right? Like there's a lot of different ways that we can talk about needing to be cleansed. And that's perfect for spring, right? It's a tonic to release things, do some spring cleaning energetically. Pine is, the shorthand for pine is guilt. And releasing guilt, addressing guilt, I feel like when we're carrying guilt, whether it's ours or whether we have picked it up from our family or our community, something good must come of it, right? And so we must look at it and we must decide to address it. Like, I'm always inspired by those people who accidentally, they drive drunk, they kill somebody, and then they spend the rest of their life talking about how to heal from this, asking for forgiveness, forgiving others, bringing inspiring energy into the world as a result of that. So putting guilt to good use is my interpretation of why this flower wanted to be in this blend. Star of Bethlehem is for shock, right? Your pet dies. Your good friend gets a terrible diagnosis and you're in shock over it. Star of Bethlehem can be used in all those situations. And this is the flower that's also in that Bach rescue remedy that's so popular. Star of Bethlehem is deep, deep, deep soothing. And in fact, when you're in grief, like, like when I cared for my mom and in her final illness, I started taking Star of Bethlehem almost immediately. You're still sad. You still lost your mom, but you can get up in the morning and you could do what you need to do. So I give Star of Bethlehem to so many people. Water violet is quiet self-reliance that leads to isolation. All right. I think this has been sort of a community-wide problem since 2020, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are quietly trying to take care of ourselves in isolation. And how do we transcend that and take care of each other in community and do it gracefully, right? How do we do it without shock and guilt and, needing to be cleansed? Water violet is in this formula for a reason. I love it. And then white chestnut, unwanted thoughts and mental arguments. I mean, that's sort of the definition of social media right there. Unwanted thoughts and arguments, right? Right. So how do we become a community of people who are interdependent, which is a higher vibrational state than independence? How do we be good neighbors? How do we be good friends? How do we be good partners, parents, daughters, sons? How do we do that in isolation? We can't. We need to cleanse ourselves. We need to address guilt. We need to care for ourselves when we're in shock. We need to transcend our isolation and become interdependent. Yeah, we have work to do together.
They're all incredibly supportive of one another. Each one of those really works so well together, and in this appropriate time and space. It's you couldn't write the story. It would be too absurd.
Yes,
it would be. It would be.
And that's part of the magic of creating a custom blend, is that there's so many permutations. I'm not capable of doing the math. You have 38 essences. How many blends does that make? But even beyond that, every blend affects individuals differently because it is such a responsive vibrational therapy, right? Because it's going to give you something different than it's going to give me. And
sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, is there like a directory of practitioners?
Mm-hmm. Yes, there are. If you go to the Bach Remedy website, they have a whole education thing where they have a lot of certified practitioners. I'm not certified through them because I studied with the Flower Essence school. So that's a different certification, but it does include the Bach flower essences in that. And it goes beyond, because there's so many different essences and so many different ways to assess what era of life people are dealing with, right? Like, where are they spiritually? Where are they emotionally? Where are they mentally? There's a lot of different ways to help people find the flowers that are going to address them in whatever stage of life they're in. Now, go ahead. I was just going to say, I am not accepting individual clients right now. But if you email me at relaxwithdaphne@gmail.com, I will introduce you to a couple of people who I really trust to choose flower essences for people if you want to work with a practitioner. I am not accepting individual clients right now because I'm in the middle of writing 2 books. And when I'm done with that, then I will be so happy to get back to working with individual clients.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's understandable. And you did say that these are also available at your natural food stores or your, and how safe is it for us to just pick it up and read sort of what this might be for and to take it home and to try one at a time? Or are they usually blends that are found at the natural food store? I haven't investigated it myself.
With the 38 Bach remedies, there's only one blend that's typically sold, and that's the Rescue Remedy. It's in a yellow bottle. Always safe to try these. Whatever you're drawn to, and don't feel limited to the description in the store. They normally have like a little booklet or a display thing that says, if you're feeling worried about this, try this, right? Feel free to try whatever appeals to you, because you are you contain multitudes. You might take two essences. One is for shyness and the other one's for extroversion, right? And you blend those together because that's what you need, because you're shy when you don't want to be and you're extroverted when you're embarrassed about it, right? Who knows what you personally need? And it's always safe to try them and to have develop your own, apothecary of flower essences. It's always safe to do that. You literally can't hurt yourself with these if you take them as prescribed, right? So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
if you are concerned about it, you should talk to your doctor. If you are alcohol free, there's only one producer I know of, Green Hope Farms, and I love all of their essences. I've tried a dozen of them. I love them. I use their animal wellness kit. So, stay away from the drugstore ones if you are alcohol free, but you have options.
I remember when I was doing my shamanic energy training, I would go, we would have long weekends, long 3 and 4 day weekends. We would go to a horse farm and we would have our, intensive training there. And one of the weekends we were there, they encouraged us to bring something of our own that we, no longer utilize as like a swap meet. And I noticed that there was this little kit of flower essence, and I like opened them up and I smelled it. I'm like, I can't smell. They don't smell. They
Yeah.
don't. They don't smell. I couldn't smell anything. And when you're telling me this, I said I had them in my hands. I could have brought them because it was like a kit, like a sample
Yeah.
kit. It was almost like 10 or 12. And
Yeah.
I thought, oh, these don't smell like anything because I had no idea what it was. Oh,
Yes. Yes. And, the essences that Dr. Bach made in the 1920s are still effective. So once you own it, you can keep it pretty much forever, as long as you haven't contaminated it with something. It will continue to be viable vibrational therapy. And if
wow.
you're concerned about it because it's older, just don't drink it, right? Apply it topically or make a spray out of it. And you can continue to use these your whole life. And I'll tell you, I will study flower essences for the rest of my life and I will never reach the end, because
Wow.
there's always more to learn about these and to make sense of what they're trying to teach us, right?
Yeah, you can
And
meditate with them, right?
yes, yes. And in fact, that's one of my favorite ways to use them, right? Like I have a group of friends that I meditate with regularly on different plants, and we just meditated with dandelion of all plants. And I learned so much. I learned so much about the plant, its physical representation in the world, but also what it is trying to provide humanity,
Mm.
right? Like if your yard is covered in dandelions, that means something.
Oh,
Yes. It could mean that
wow.
the soil needs nourishing. It could mean that you need nourishing, that your liver needs nourishing. You will have to discover what it means, but it's
Wow.
one of my favorite things to do is to meditate with a plant. So now that you've accepted that community blend, you took a screenshot or a little photo of what's in it, you can read about it, you can sit down and meditate, you can do automatic writing, you can ask your pendulum, you can pull tarot cards about it. They have an incredible presence, these plants, these flowers that are trying to serve humanity, right? They are trying to help us. And if we accept their help and we are open to understanding what they're offering us, it's very beautiful.
Wow. Well, this has been so enlightening and just really, I learned so much. And I thought I knew a lot about them, but I continue to learn in different layers and in different ways. So thank you so much, Daphne, for the offering, for the education, for all your hard work, and for coming on and sharing your special techniques and modalities with us. I really appreciate that. Thank you, everybody, for being here and for asking your questions and for participating. and for liking and sharing and subscribing. Please do go on over to Relax with Daphne and do subscribe, and let's support Daphne. She is an amazing content creator, and we're going to see her a lot more. So please do, if you haven't already, go on over and subscribe to Relax with Daphne. All of her information is in the show notes below, and I would really appreciate that. So thank you again. And I will be on a little bit later on today. I'll be on with Scott Scorpio Santoro. So if you're around this afternoon, we'll see you then at 4 o'clock Eastern. And I guess that's 1 o'clock Pacific. So we'll see you then. All right. Thank you,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you enjoy this content, hit like, share, and subscribe. Remember to click the bell to be notified of future videos. Thanks again. Bye.